chewing gum pot. Nice and waterproof, good for tinder and things like potassium penangamate, bits like that. So I've just got some cheap little offcuts. Made myself a little pot just by gluing it on with contact adhesive. Glue a bit on the top, glue a bit on the bottom. Really not rocket surgery. But well, it looks a bit better in your kit than carrying stuff around like that. Costs virtually nothing, as long as you can get some cheap old leather from, leather jacket on a car boot sale or a handbag or something like that. But it's been a little while since I've been out and had a walk around, so I'm here to brush up on my tree ID. As long as I stay out of the wind, it's actually quite a nice day. But tree ID this time of year is quite good because you're getting the tiny leaves starting to grow on a lot of the trees. Now this is some white poplar. Usually put them in as wind barriers. You can always tell on the bark as well. You can see all these little diamond shapes all up the bark, and the bigger they get, the more prominent they are. But the bottom of the trunk doesn't really show it, but further up, really nice little trees. But the way the leaves grow, the angle of them, whenever the wind blows, they flap around. They're really noisy trees. If you can see about a load of movement and shimmering, these leaves are a bit small, but look up there in the wind. There's some cleavers growing there, sticky buds, wild edible, really good for like kidney problems, renal problems. I think you use it for colds and flus as well. One of the plantains, or plantain, I don't know. But that is a antihistamine and edible, obviously. Quite big now. Hawthorn. Get the berries later on in the year. Edible leaves as well. Later in the year, when they've built up the tannins or got a bit more strength to them, they kind of taste like apple peel. And the younger ones are kind of got a bit of an appley tang to them, but they don't really taste of much. But they're right to make up a salad. And obviously you've got the nice big thorns on these, which you can make, try and get you to focus, like primitive fishing hooks and stuff. But that's quite a substantial spike, that is. This one here with the black spots on the leaves is Lords and Ladies. Now when it's young and first coming out of the ground, some people have managed to mistake it for wild garlic. And it's really quite poisonous. So, but you can tell if you bend the garlic leaves, they bruise really easily, whereas those are quite a waxy leaf. And obviously the shape of the leaf is completely different. It's more of a arrowhead type leaf. But it's just that mis-ID has happened in the past, so I thought I'd tell you. There's a nice easy one. Nice pithy, squashy bark, really ridged. Leaves growing in formation. A 5 like that. Got any signs of any flowers on it yet? Not yet. It's not in the sunlight enough. There are a few just starting to show. But this is an elder, which all of this is hollow. So really good for making blowpipes, whistles and stuff, and musical instruments. So it was one of the kind of protected trees in the forest. They said you shouldn't burn elder because obviously the musicians wanted it and for making their instruments. but it is slightly toxic, so it contains cyanide. So, not something you want to be chewing on. I think these are wood anemones, I'm not 100% sure. Right time of year for them. But just the petals look a little different to the ones I've seen before. So they could have been open for a bit longer. I am unsure. It's gorgeous looking woodland though, isn't it? It's only a very thin strip in between two farmers' fields. But nice little place. Not too far. You can see where this fire's got out of control and taken out all of the surrounding. And you think, bloody bushcrafters. Then we see things like this lying around, which tells me a different story. Now I can smell something burning still. I don't know if someone's been camping in here. Jesus. And that is why you don't leave your fire unattended and make sure you put it out. Jeez. That's awful. That's just the leaves on the bottom smouldering away. And this is what spoils it for the rest of us. Look at that. Yeah. Knew I could smell smoke. All of this around here. Yeah, I'm going to deal with this. Right, so I've scraped all the dead material away, made a clear area around it, but there's still heat and steam in the ground. So I'm going to sit around here and have a coffee, rake it all over again, and just keep doing it until it stops smouldering, because I don't want to do any rain today. That'd be better if we get rid of it. Right, so I've cleared all the fuel from around it, all the leaves and dead material. I've dug it all down deep with a stick, raked it over a few times, put it all up into a pile to suffocate it, now spread it out to take the heat out of it. You've got the fire triangle you need: fuel, heat and oxygen. So you pile it all up, starve the oxygen, then you spread it out, get the heat out of it, and obviously take the fuel away, and that'll do its own thing, and that should go out now. I can't see any smouldering, but I'm still going to hang around for another half hour, make sure there's nothing else. And I've got to walk around the rest of this area, make sure there's nothing still wicking away. I'm pretty sure this is, I think that's where the main fire was. There. I can't feel any heat in that. Yeah, oh yeah, there is. A little bit warm. So that's probably not last night, the night before. And that's just crapped all the way around there. It's a warning to us all, it could happen to any of us. Especially when you're packing up early in the morning to sneak off again, which is a big problem with wild camping. If farmers actually allowed it, you could hang around a bit longer and make sure your fires are out. But you really need to talk to the landowner and come to an agreement and find out where the nearest water source is, because then you can just sit there throwing buckets of water on it all day long. There is a ditch over there, I'm going to check that for water as well, but we haven't had a lot of rain. Anyway, I'm going to sign off and then I'll come back and we'll see if we can find some more trees to look at. So, a bit of interesting, wasn't it? Well, Jack and Curtis, I think you're a pair of muppets. If you are watching, give me a message. I'll show you how to do it properly. Right, we've got a cherry. Nice sized leaves. The blossom has started to go, and where are we? There's a cherry there, just starting to grow. What gives away a cherry? All the dot dot dash, little vents in the bark. You see those? Nice and close. And no matter how big a cherry is, it will have that. There's a few other fruit trees have them, but cherry's probably the most noticeable. So it looks like it's clouding up for rain out there now, which is good because it'll help put that bloody fire out. Oak tree. Pretty sure you all know what an oak tree looks like. This is the only bluebells. I came out today because I was going to film carpets of bluebells. Only bluebells I've seen today, one little patch. But it's one of those indicators of ancient woodland. And I think a bed of bluebells moves like a foot every 100 years or something crazy. So you can, if there's like carpets and carpets of bluebells, it's proper ancient. So next year there'll be one next to it. Sorry, next 100 years there'll be one next to it. Seems a bit far-fetched to me, but there you go. It's one of those slow creeping plants. Anyway, hang on there. I'm really having trouble. Yeah, there you go, it's another cherry. And you can still see the dot dot dashes all up it. Looks really dead, but there's leaves on it, so there's life in the old girl yet. Giving some, that's totally dead. Yeah. Don't tie your hammock to that one. Quite a lot of cherry along here actually. Another one over there. Freestanding hawthorn, don't see that very often. Usually quite bushy and hammered in the hedgerows. Right, these are a beech tree. Nice well-defined marks, quite ridged if you turn it over. See there's quite the ridges in the leaves. Also, if you take this off and rub the underside on your bottom lip, you'll notice there's loads of little hairs underneath the leaf, that kind of tickles your lip. Nice smooth bark. Let's find a good one. There you go, that's what I was looking for. Beech tree, nice smooth bark, but it's got kind of a tiger stripe to it. You get what I mean? Zebra stripe, whatever. But you can't really feel it, it's just completely smooth. And these things get massive. Yeah, wind's getting up, probably going to rain in a bit, so I'm going to leg it. Nice bit of dead standing. Perfect bit of firewood. If you clear the leaves away first. Oh, look at them, look. Off a It's a bit of oak. Hasn't rotted, not a lot can eat it. That's like perfect firewood. And when it's on the oak tree, like that one, they're called fire antlers. So you break them off, and that's like the perfect hot, slow burning firewood. So you can always tell an oak because it won't grow straight. It's all knees and elbows. Because the lead bud doesn't usually become the branch. So instead of the lead bud growing straight on, this side bud will grow, or that side bud will grow, so it will grow all knees and elbows. Right, I'm back to the path. Just going to check on that fire again, and that's me done.